नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So text 20. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Sri Shuka Uvacha.
Sri
Sri
Sukha
Shukha Vacha.
स एवं सुविनिर्णीय
Sa evam suvirneniya
धर्मं भागवतं नृप
Brahmam Bhagavatam Nrupa.
Bhagavatam Nripa.
तं याम्य पाशान् निर्मुच्य
Tam yamya pasha
Namya
nirmucha.
Nirmucha.
विप्रं मृत्योर अमोमुचम्.
Vipram
Vipram
Mrityur
Mrityor Amumuchan.
Anumucha.
Sri Shukadev Goswami continued, My dear king, having thus perfectly judged the principles of devotional service with reasoning and arguments, the order carriers of Lord Vishnu released the Brahmana Ajamil from the bondage of the Yamadutas and saved him from imminent death. 21. Iti pratyudita yamya
Iti pratyudita yamya.
Yeah.
bhuta yatva yamantikam
Tuta
Uta
Yatva.
yatva yamantikam.
Yamantikam.
yamaragye yatha sarvam
Yamara.
Yamarajne yatha sarvam.
Sarvam.
achachakshur arindama.
Achachakshur
Achachakshur
arindamam.
Arindama.
Yes, would someone like to read?
Very good.
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna. Translation. My dear Maharaj Parikshit, O subduer of all enemies, after the servants of Yamaraj had been answered by the order carriers of Lord Vishnu, they went to Yamaraj and explained to him everything that had happened. Purport. In this verse, the word pratyudita is very significant. Servants of Yamaraj are so powerful that they can never be hindered anywhere. But this time, they were baffled and disappointed in their attempt to take away a man they considered simple. Therefore, they immediately returned to Yamaraj and described to him everything that had happened. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Yes. Hmm. See, servants of Yamraj. See, Yamraj is as good as the Supreme Lord himself. So, if they are, so his servants naturally are amongst the most powerful beings in this universe. But even he was hindered. Even I mean, we can say he was hindered because his servants were hindered. So they were very much disappointed. They were very much baffled. So they went back to their Lord and they discussed the subject matter. Now, this is what baffled them really. You know, to them, they were the laws of nature. They were the laws of nature. So how can anyone come and hinder them in their work? So we can understand, actually, you see, Yamadutas by their nature are very cruel beings. So certainly we can understand that the kind of environment in which they live, the kind of consciousness they cultivate, it is impossible for them to see Narayan Dutas at any time. So first of all, they were very much baffled to see Narayan Dutas, divine personalities like Narayan Dutas. And secondly, they were even more baffled to see them actually hindering their job. Hare Krishna. Any questions here? Continue. Text 22. Dvija Pashad Vinirmukto
Tviya.
Vijapasad Vinirmukto.
Gatabhihi Prakritim Gata
Tato.
Katabi Prakritam Vita.
Vavande Shirasa Vishnu
Vande
Vavande
Shirasa Vishnu.
Kinkaran Darshanotsava.
Kinkaran
Kinkaran
Darshanotsava.
Darshanotsava.
Someone like to
Ko.
read? Yes, please.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace from the Prabhupada's translation. Having been released from the nooses of Yamaraja's servants, the Brahmana, Ajamila, now free from fear, came to his senses and immediately offered obeisances to the Vishnu Dutas. By bowing his head at the lotus feet, he was extremely pleased by their presence, for he had seen them save his life from the hands of the servants of Yamaraja. Purport. Vaishnavas are also Vishnu Dutas because they carry out the orders of Krishna. Lord Krishna is very eager for all conditioned souls rotting in this material world to surrender to him and be saved from material pangs in this life and punishment in hellish conditions after death. A Vaishnava therefore tries to bring conditioned souls to their senses. Those who are fortunate like Ajamila are saved by Vishnu Dutas or Vaishnavas, and thus they return back home, back to Godhead. Hare.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hmm. See, what is the job of Vishnu Dutas? What is the job of a devotee? You know, he's traveling, Amara Agya Hai Guru Tarha Ei Desh. What is the job of a devotee actually? The main job of a devotee is to preach. So we can say, oh, I live at home, I worship my deities very opulently, Prabhu, I don't need to preach. So that is nonsense, complete nonsense. In this age of Kali, actually, no one can do deity worship. Our consciousness is so polluted that we are actually committing offenses in the name of deity worship. Like Srila Prabhupada used to say that if you want to do deity worship, then the standard must be the same as that of a temple. So if it is Radha Krishna deities, then they must be offered bhoga 5 times a day. They must be offered arti. All those things must be done to the temple standards, right on time. If it cannot be done, then this is all like ineffective. So Vaishnav, so main job in this age is to preach. Like Srila Prabhupada said, that if there are no pujaris, then you lock up the temple, close the altar, lock up the temple, and go out and preach. But that is foremost. So the devotees of the Lord, they travel, prati ghare ghare gya karo ehi shiksha. We go from home to home. We knock on the doors of people to preach this message to them. Simply sitting at home and just trying to worship some deities or just pretending to be deity worshipper, that's all nonsense. That's just a sign of laziness. Because in this age, Harinam Sankirtan is the mission. So Kalau nasti eva gatiranyatha. There is nothing else. So what are we trying to do? So Vishnu Dutas freed Ajamil from death. He was extremely pleased by their presence, for he had saved them, for he had seen them save his life from the hands of servants of Yamraj. So he was now free of fear. He saw that the Lord has protected him. But now he was no longer the old person. His consciousness came back as it is, completely. Now he came back to his senses. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanvan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvam iti sa mahatma sudurlabha. So he immediately became a Mahatma. So this is the job of Vaishnava. We are here to save this society from hellish conditions. Our job is not an ordinary job. We should not be proud of it, certainly, because this is Krishna's mercy, but at the same time, we should not take our own position lightly. We should not be casual in our role. We should not be casual, okay, who cares if I preach, who cares if I don't preach? No, it's a very, very specific role that Krishna has somehow or the other entrusted to us. So we must take it very seriously. We should never take it lightly. We should not take ourselves so lightly that, oh, yes, someone can do. No, we have to do it. If we don't do it, in the next birth, this opportunity will be taken away. We'll take birth in mundane families. Hare Krishna. Yes, any questions or comments? Shivani Mataji, you're saying something?
No, Prabhuji, I'm sorry. I think I'm unmuted.
Yeah, I could see your mic going up and down, so I thought.
No, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Prabhuji. I'll just mute.
No issues. There's no sound, just a symbol that you're talking. Okay. So people have deity at home, but they aren't chanting. So deity is not accepting that worship. They should start chanting. Deity worship cannot be done without chanting. Yuga Dharma is chanting. So chanting of the holy names actually purifies us. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was asked, when some Brahmanas asked him, can you come to our house for taking prasad? Prabhupada said, no, I only go to the house of Laksheshwar, those who chant 100,000 names of the Lord. So yes, so we have to chant. Without them, without chanting, there is no point in deity worship. That will just be Shama Eva Hi Kevalam. Yes. Anandaram Prabhu, you also have a question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna.
so like we have this Navvida Bhakti. So we say that from any one of them, one can get, one can serve and get connected by love to Lord. So then, how do you understand that only by one particular way, as we are mentioning most of the time, is possible? How to understand?
Shamana, so Shamanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So without Shramana, anyway, nothing is possible. Kirtan. See, now there is Navadha Bhakti, but what is your Guru telling you? That is important. So there is a nine-step devotional service process, nine-step devotional process. But what is your Guru telling you? Your Guru is telling you to chant, so you should do that. What is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying? He's seeing me as a fool. My Maharaj, my spiritual master instructed me to only chant. So you see, so in this age we chant. Otherwise, someone like Sahajiyas will say, okay, Dasyam Sakhyam. So I am Sakhya, Krishna is my friend. Well, Krishna is everyone's friend, but this Sakhya is not attained so cheaply.
Can we understand that yes, Navida Bhakti are all the limbs of Bhakti Yoga, but we are connected to a school of thought where more impetus is given on Shravanam Kirtanam, and then once you are done Shravanam Kirtanam, then the next impetus is given on making this message available to all the people, are connecting more and more living entities to Krishna. So these are the we can say the two primary activities of our school of thought, our movement.
Yes. So see, we have to follow the procedure laid down by our movement. So all this 9-step devotional service, yes, we also follow, but it starts with Shravana and Kirtan.
Well, people like to be loosely connected, and they like the process, they like the temples, they like the sangha and everything, but in their own heart they are not so much strongly inclined towards reading and hearing. Okay, so that's how majority of the devotees are. They feel they again and again, why I mentioned this verse is because this verse is given for us how Krishna can be approachable, okay, by the bhakti process. But then at the same time, this thing is not written directly anywhere, but this is the understanding one has to take, that we are actually connected to a school of thought, where that school of thought, if you follow the instructions of a guru, then automatically you will get more easily purified, and you will get empowered also to be a part in the mission. And if we are not, then we are on our own. So that is a great risk. So we may be with, you may be associating with hundreds of devotees, but you have your own emotion nursing, that oh, that is okay, but I will do my way, but I will be happy in my deity worship, or I will be happy in another parts of this thing. And Shravanam and Kirtanam may not be my primary objective because I don't have a taste for it like that.
Yeah, so see, what is the value of our taste anyway? I can say, oh, I have a taste for staring at Mataji's. So will any guru allow me to do that? We have to give up, these are nonsense tastes. These are rascal tastes. We have to give them up. There's no value for our taste. When a soldier joins the army, he may have some taste, but his taste is kicked out by the sergeant in the first day itself. So we have to purify ourselves. We have come here for purification. What is the so-called taste? It is arising out of our bodily and mental perceptions. I am an Indian, I like spicy food. I am an Indian, I like, swimming in the sea. So these
Yeah,
are
but
just bodily conceptions.
what they taste, they get some support from the Shastric injunctions also. No? So feel where are we wrong? But of
No,
course,
one can always,
the more
one can find any
understanding
instruction from the Shastra and justify his nonsense. Nowadays, like we hear this nonsense that, you have to live lovingly with your family because you have a family in spiritual world. So this is the philosophy of Sakhi Bekis and, this Aula, Baula, all they have the same philosophy, Sahajiyas. So we can say, oh, Jiva Goswami says this. Oh, Bhakti Vinod Thakur writes this in Jaiva Dharma. Yes, but he writes many other things that no one is practicing. So, see, one can justify anything on the basis of scriptures. But that's why we need a guru. That's why we need a guru. Guru will tell us where to start off. A child can jump with a drawing board and start designing a rocket. That's nonsense. Who will trust that? You have to go through 25 years of education before you can understand what is advanced fluid dynamics. So, you see, it's not so, bhakti is not so cheap. One has to go through proper instructions of a guru. I like it this way. Well, what is the value of your liking? If you really like worshipping the deities, then you should be a sannyasi. You cannot like the deities and like your wife also. That is Sahajaism. So, see, any activity in relation to Krishna is bona fide, it's perfectly fine. But one should understand whether one has complete purity or not. If one is still having sexual thoughts, then all of this is nonsense. Then we must strictly follow the instructions of spiritual master and should just purify ourselves. Other than that, it's all mental concoction.
truly said Prabhuji. In Madhva Sampradaya, only the sannyasis are they have this facility to serve the deities. Others are not at all. They are considered to be contaminated to even be near to the deities.
Yeah,
So it is very
and that's
strictly
a
followed in Madhva Sampradaya.
see, Prabhu, there's a very valid reason. Lord Chaitanya says that even if I see a wooden form of a woman, I am attracted. My mind is disturbed. Here we are seeing the most beautiful form of Universal Mother Srimati Radharani. Here, on one hand, I am looking at all the attractive women, and now suddenly I am becoming so pure that I can appreciate Mother Radha. That's nonsense. So we have to purify ourselves. So yes, if the spiritual master says, please worship the deity, we do it. Because spiritual master is taking the responsibility. I concoct some things and I say, oh, now I am a gopi, I am a gopa. Sahajaism. Complete nonsense. That's offensive. Because Krishna gets angry with that. Shruti, Smriti, Purana Adi, Pancharatra Vidhim Vina, Ekantiki Harer Bhaktir, Utpata Eva Kalpate. This is Utpat. This is nonsense. Yes, Mataji. You also have a question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat. Prabhuji, many devotees, have told me, like, since we have got deities at home, like, all our attention is towards the deities. So we are serving them the whole day. So we develop feelings for the deities. Just reading alone does not help to develop feelings for the Lord. It's when you are serving the form that helps greatly. I mean, how do we understand that?
That's mental concoction. If they have so much affection for deities, why are they living in Bombay? If they have so much affection for deities, then they must be having affection for the spiritual master also. Then they must have affection for the instructions of the spiritual master. We have read that, isn't it? Chaitanya Charitamrita, we did together, first chapter. He's the spiritual master is the supreme personality of servitor Godhead. I love Krishna, but I don't love my guru. Sahajya nonsense. Even
I don't
even
know
little
what
girls.
their feelings are for the guru. That I did not get into. But
Hmm.
they're saying that just reading books alone and not doing deity worship, not serving them, does not help us develop feelings for the Lord. That is what
That is perfectly
people.
fine. But where is Sankirtan? Where is book distribution? Why is that not happening? See, you're understanding. This is the Sampradaya instruction. This is the Sampradaya. Gaudiya Sampradaya is based on reading and preaching. So where is preaching? Where is Sankirtan? Where is Nagar Sankirtan? See, there is a scientific process. Even little girls, they love their Barbies. But is that transcendental? If one really has love for deities, he'll have no love for stock market and other nonsense.
But then that's what they do, na, Prabhuji. They give small deities to children, and I mean, even Prabhupada, with Prabhupada, it was a different thing. But then many devotees do that. They get small deities for the children, and they make a small altar for them and make them, do everything for the deities. Now, children don't really have any conception of anything, but
No, that is
I
perfectly
don't know.
fine. But Srila Prabhupada became Srila Prabhupada. Where are these children? I mean, I've been here in this movement for 25 years. I just see children coming, playing, and going away, becoming engineers, doctors, going to US. I don't see anyone becoming like Prabhupada. I don't see anyone having that zeal for the preaching mission of the Lord. How many of these grihasthas are writing commentaries on Bhagavad Gita? Why do these people, if they love the deities, how come they find Bhagavad Gita boring? How come they find Bhagavatam boring? Why do they want to hear Rasika stories, but they don't want to hear real philosophy of Krishna consciousness? See, this is Sahajiism. This is pure bona fide Sahajiavad, modern day bowlers. That's why there is Bollywood kirtans and all going on. I mean, if someone really has affection for deities, he would not want to work in a hellish city like Bombay. He'd just go to the village, take his deities, serve them there. He would eat 2 rotis a day and do nothing else. Gaur Kishore Das, not Gaur Kishore, this Gaur Mohan Day, he was working only 4 to 6 hours a day, not much. Prabhupada says that his real job was worshipping the deities. Shop was just a side job for him. Gaur Mohan Day was only thinking about worshipping the deities and making his son a pure devotee. That's all. He was not thinking of anything else. He didn't think, oh, my son should become a doctor or engineer. His wife, Radharani, not Radharani, what was her name? Srila Prabhupada's mother, she wanted him to go to London.
But Prabhuji,
Father
then
did not.
how do we really, in this day and age, should we really get deities or not? Or we should just try to serve the deities in the temple?
Serve the deities in the temple and do your Sankirtan. Why are Grihastha sitting at home just sitting there? Go ahead, do Sankirtan on the streets. That's the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's the biggest deity. That will neglect. I love my deity, but I don't love Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What nonsense is that? I love you, but I won't do anything for you. What kind of a love is that? Prabhupada always used to say, oh, I love you, but I won't do anything for you. What kind of a loving exchange is that? Mahaprabhu is saying, Jare dekha tare kaha Krishna Upadesh. Amara agya hai guru tara hai desh. Who's doing that? Take kartals, take mridangas, dance on the streets. Dance in your colony courtyards. Okay, you need municipal permission on the streets. But at least those who live in Navi Mumbai, they have huge courtyards. Why don't they take mridangas and dance there? Gaurango bolia, do bahu tulia, nachia bedaure. So do it, dance. This is all Sahajiism. Bitching about devotees, fighting with each other. No, this is all nonsense. One who loves deities will not be able to part with them at all. Then he'll not feel like buying some new Toyotas, Hondas, and traveling to this place, that place, and making his son IIT engineer or AIMS medical doctor. No, that is nonsense. Deity worship is not a cheap thing at all. I mean, deity is Krishna. He is Krishna. He's the Lord. He's Thakurji. If
Yes,
someone
and
loves
Prabhuji,
him, that's
actually,
not.
so many people, when I've seen so many times, I don't know, they say it's bona fide that when you go out for some yatra or something, the temple is just locked and just put a box of dry fruits or some money. Lakshmi is put in the temple and devotees go away. Somehow I don't feel that's right only.
Yeah, so that is like, oh, then how can they leave their deities? Prabhupada was carrying his deities, so why don't they carry their deities? If they love, I mean, they will take their children and wives with them. Then they won't say, okay, I'll lock up my wife in the house and I'll go for yatra. Why? Krishna can stay. Radharani can stay, but my wife will come with me. Why is that?
Yeah, that part of deity worship, especially in ISKCON, somehow I feel that, I mean, we have devotees get some such big deities. Okay, it's difficult to carry them. Why get such big deities? If we have smaller deities, we can carry them with us.
See, what they're doing, what they don't do,
Even
that's not
carrying
really my
deities
business.
according to deity worship is not allowed, Mataji. It is
Huh?
strictly prohibited to carry deities. Okay, so
But
even
there
that
are
culture
many,
or
I
that
know some
culture,
brahmacharis and
people
all
may
who carry
carry, but
this.
according to scriptures, carrying deities are not allowed. For that also there is a various standards. Carrying deities in trains where we get contaminated and all the stuff, that is not at all allowed actually. Okay, so
Acha.
a lot of purity to be maintained. So in
Mhm.
ISKCON, what has been propagated is grastas after certain years who have become steady, then they can bring in deities. And then what about when they go for yatras and everything? So we request the deities to take rest. For those people who have who still feel that they need to serve the deities, so the option is told is, now this is what I'm telling. What are the different options which are given is, you can make a photo, a small photograph of your deity, and carry the deity and serve the photograph of the deity during your yatra or in your journey, and then yeah, that's it. Like, but the whole thing is that the same thing. Like this was not really advocated during Srila Prabhupada's time.
What, this
Because
So
photo?
you see,
there was no room for it. Matlab, deity worship is there, but then where do you have the time to genuinely serve the deities in a proper way? Also, one should remember that previously in other ages they were joint families, and there were more than one ladies, and the Prabhujis also used to serve. We can hear from even Leelamrit, like how Gorman they used to serve the deities. Yeah, Prabhupada says the most of the time he was with the deities, so he was serving the deities very nicely. So are we doing that? Here we are doing with some tough, nasty professions which are so much in passion, and then we cannot say that it's just a switch on, switch off, and we come into mode of goodness, and suddenly we approach the deities and serving them and doing path sevanam and everything. So that's where we need to know it. Like, so whoever their counselor or whoever the senior devotee or the guru is there, one has to know the person and the family very nicely before the deities can be. But now it's like people are also very either very sentimental or arrogant in thinking that who are these seniors who tell us it is the relation between me and the deity. I can go and get the deity. What is the problem with it? So they make their own plans. They have their own desire to serve which deity, and then they will inform a senior devotee, and then we are stumped. So we ask our seniors, then they will say, let them do what they want, because their emotions and sentiments will get hurt, and they will not then. Presently, they will at least hear to you, and they may chant. If they totally get offended, then they will just bring the deities, and then they will do aprad only. So better they slowly at least become serious in bhakti. So these are what the facts which have been told. So, but then the best way or the best practice is, now once we are discussing and reading, then we understand that the best practice would have been that we would have been guided that if we are not able to dedicate throughout in serving all 365 days the Lord, then it's better we serve only the laminations of the temple deity. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes, so we can take one short verse now, next 23. Tam vivaksham abhipretya
Samviksham
Mahapurusha Kinkara
Mahapusha
Sahasa Pashyatastasya
Sahasapasyatastasya
Tatrantara Dadhire Anagha.
Tatrantardathire Nakha.
Very good.
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna. Dharmapada. Translation purport by Sri Prabhupada. Sri Prabhupada. Yeah. Translation. O Sunildas Maharaj Dikshit, the order carriers of Supreme Personality Godhead, The Vishnuduta saw that Ajamilwal attempted to say something, and thus they suddenly disappeared from his presence. Purport. The Shastra says, Apasitaha ya Surachari Dev Brahmana Nindikchaha Apatehe Bhojanje Esham Akale Matranam Durvam. For persons who are papists, very simple, and durachari, misbehaved, very empty in their habits, who are against the existence of God, who disrespect Vaishnavas and Brahmins, and who eat anything and everything, untimely death is sure. It is said that in Kali Yuga, one has a maximum lifespan of 100 years. But as people become degraded, the duration of their lives decreases. Because the Ajamid was now free from all sinful reactions, his lifetime was extended, even though he was to have died immediately. When the Vishnuduta saw Jamil trying to say something to them, he disappeared to give him a chance to glorify the Supreme Lord. Since all his sinful reactions had been vanquished, he was now prepared to glorify the Lord. Indeed, one cannot glorify the Lord unless one is completely free from all sinful activity. This is confirmed in Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita 7.28. Isam tev gatam papam jnanam punni karmadham te deva moho nirmukta bhajante mam prarvita. Persons who have acted piously in the previous lives and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated and who are freed from the duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service with determination. The Vishnudutas made Ajamal aware of the devotional service so that he might immediately become to return home, back to Godhead. To increase his eagerness to glorify the Lord, they disappeared so that he would feel separation in their absence. In the mode of separation, glorification of the Lord is very intense. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Very interesting purport this one is. And this one point has been illustrated by actually Keshavan Prabhu also in many of his lectures, if you heard carefully. See, real sign of love of Godhead is a feeling of separation. Yugaitam nimishena chakshusha pravrashaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. Govinda virahena me. Mahaprabhu is constantly crying. Mahaprabhu, what is Mahaprabhu saying? In Antya Leela, when his pastimes are drawing to a close, what is Mahaprabhu doing? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? He's just completely in the mood of Radharani in separation. I saw Krishna in the Vallabh garden, but as soon as I went to see him, he disappeared. Where is the love of my life? Where is my Prananath? Where's the life of my life? Where's the master of my life? That is the mood of Mahaprabhu. And that is our mood also. Gaudiya Vaishnavas, that's our mood. Actually, Radharani's mood is mainly, this thing, Vipralambha. हे राधे हे ब्रज देवी के, हे राधे ब्रज देवी के, हे नंद हे ललिते च विशाखे, हे नंद शुनो कुतो. Where are you? They're never saying, oh, I saw Radha, I saw Krishna. No, हे राधे ब्रज देवी के, हे नंद, हे राधे ब्रज देवी के, हे ललिते च विशाखे. Oh Radha, oh Lalita, oh Vishakha, oh son of Nanda, where are you? That's the mood of the Goswamis, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami. They're always in separation. So if one really feels love for Krishna, he'll actually start feeling separation. One will go mad in pain. Sometimes you might have seen in hospitals and all, especially if some of you are doctors, you might have seen in hospitals when a patient dies. How are the relatives? They're stunned. They're in pain. They're stunned. That is Vipralamba. That's like that's a very crude example I'm giving. At the time when someone who's very close to you dies, when your relative dies, you don't feel sadness. It's a stunning shock. Your body burns literally. You feel electricity flowing through your body. That's like a very, very fragmental portion of what is called Vipralambharas. So when Gop Kumar reaches Golok Vrindavan, he sees the Brajvasis in that condition. They are stunned. They're not moving. They're not talking. They're not moving. They haven't even noticed him. So Gop Kumar thinks that this is some trick of Maya. This is some demonic trick, and now I have been tricked into some lower planet, and now like I'm in a very inauspicious condition. He's very much fearful. But then Krishna arrives, and they all come to life. So you see, this is the position that real love of Godhead actually leads to Vipralambha, leads to, this feeling. Shunyayitam Jagat Sarvam. One feels Shunyayitam. There is nothing left in this world. So Ajamil, so the Vishnu Dutas, they wanted to enhance his love for God. So they disappeared. In their presence, Ajamil could feel the presence of Lord Narayan. He was feeling very much happy. He was feeling very much, obliged. But as soon as they disappeared, his feelings intensified. Just like Parikshit Maharaj. When Parikshit Maharaj was born, his name was Parikshit. He was testing, Pariksha. He was testing. Is this the Lord? Is this the Lord? No. Parikshit, he was searching for the Lord. Maharaj Parikshit's very existence was just to find the Lord. Because he had seen the Lord, but he could not see him now. So Ajamil saw the Vishnu Dutas, but he could not see them now. So in this way, his intensity of emotions for the Lord would be enhanced, and that is why they disappeared. Hare Krishna. Yes, any questions or comments? Now, one point, this is in connection to the previous discussion we had. See, yesham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvanda moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridvrta. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, whose sinful reactions are completely eradicated and who are freed from duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service with determination. So please understand, past life sinful reactions must have been vanquished. Then one can actually develop emotions for the deities. Otherwise, that's just a sentiment. So this kind of, worshipping the deities but neglecting other aspects of devotional service which are given by the acharyas, that is Sahajiyaism. Because one who has acted piously, whose sinful reactions are finished, he will not have any duality. He'll be free from delusion. So what is this delusion? My child should become an engineer or a doctor. I should be very rich. I should speculate on stock markets and all. These are delusions. One will understand that I should stay away from sinful life. One will have aversion to this kind of sinful living. So if one wants to really worship deities, one should give up this kind of a horrible material living. One will have no affection for one's own family members. Like Gaur Mohan De, his main affection was for Srila Prabhupada. Even Prabhupada admits, he says, I think my father already knew that I was a pure devotee. He says, my father never chastised me, even though I did some great mischief. And then Prabhupada became silent, and then he very softly said, perhaps he already knew. So you see, someone like Prabhupada saying this is not to be taken lightly. So it is very likely that Gaur Mohan De already had a premonition about the qualities of his son. That's why he never chastised Prabhupada. He would in fact say that, my dear son, please forgive me, but it is my duty to now correct you. So in a way, like Prabhupada was spoiled by his father, but then Srila Prabhupada was Srila Prabhupada. From childhood, he wanted to do Rath Yatra, wanted to worship Radha and Krishna, and then he wanted to see the absolute truth. So you see, those are different things. We should not try to jump our station. We follow the process. It will come. I'm not saying it's not going to come. It will come. But don't prematurely jump there. Worshipping the deities and criticizing the devotees, criticizing the acharyas, that's the sign of a lowest kanishtha. Third class devotee, which we were discussing. No, okay, not here. We were discussing in Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. Yeah. So that's the lowest class of devotee. who doesn't understand what is devotional service really. So for him, these are just deities. Deities are just dolls, beautiful dolls. If one really loves the deities, one will do Sankirtan. Hare Krishna. So, any questions or comments? Okay, then we stop here today. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Right. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna Prabhu. Dandavad pranam Prabhu. Yeah.
Dandavad
Hare
pranam.
Krishna Prabhuji,
Hare
Dandavad
Krishna.
pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Prabhu.
Hello, Pranam Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavad pranam Prabhu.